R.I. Presents.
Sea People Mountain People Chapter 2. Encounter with mythology. When I woke up, what jumped into my field of vision was a ceiling I had never seen before. There are thick wooden beams and the ceiling is dim. I was worried about this place and tried to get up, but I was surprised that my body could not move. Moreover, in the next moment, my body began to move on its own. When I got up, I walked towards the window, pulled up the window frame, supported it with a stick, fixed it, and looked out the window. The scenery seen from the window was the first time I had seen it, and there was a thatched roof building a little distance away. Furthermore, in the surrounding area, there is a rise that looks like a pile of straw, and there is also a structure like a lookout tower. The sea could be seen at the end of the forest, and the weather was nice, so the blue of the sky and the blue of the sea blended together on the distant horizon, and it was a mesmerizing sight. The village is surrounded by trees, and its greenery is very deep and shining. After watching the scene for a while, I went to the corner of the room, opened the lid of the basket, took out my clothes, and started to get dressed. Why is it that the body moves on its own, regardless of one's will? I was confused, not understanding the situation at all, but my body seemed to have finished dressing and I left the room and started to go down the stairs. Then someone called out to me. When a woman's voice said, "R.I.PRESENTS," the owner of the body also replied, "R.I.PRESENTS." What does "R.I.PRESENTS" mean? The meaning is good morning. I understand what it means. Also, from the feel of the voice, the owner of the body is a woman. When she reached the first floor, she said something to the woman she greeted and then walked out of the home. When I went outside, there was a plaza in front of me, and in the center there was a structure that looked like a watchtower that I saw earlier. As she began to walk towards the structure, the people around her greeting her. The appearance of the people around her who greeted her was strange and far from that of modern people. Most of the men had their hair in a ponytail, and a few left their long hair intact. It is fashionable for women to have their hair in a dango shape, and the difference is whether they have one or two dango shapes. And what I felt the most strange was the clothes. All of them are wearing a combination of black and brown fur on a cloth that looks a little rough. It's the same for men and women. Where is this place? Come to think of it, they have faces that are a little closer to Southeast Asian. I am often mistaken for a half, so I felt that I might be able to spend my time here naturally. While I was thinking, she replied to each and every one of the people around her and headed straight for the structure in the center of the square. What? Are you going to rise to the top of this building? I was a little scared, but she began to climb the ladder lightly and reached the top in no time. When I looked around from the top, it really looked like a viewing tower, and I could see far away and even the horizon. She looked up and then looked over the distant horizon. The wind is a light breeze and there is a slight smell of the sea. The air was dry and I could expect clear skies today. For some reason, I have always known the color of the wind. I am sensitive to even the slightest difference in humidity, and when I go out of the house, I often sneeze when the environment changes drastically from the inside. My predictions based on humidity and wind color were often accurate, so my friends called me a walking weather forecast. Apparently, she senses the same thing, occasionally turning her palm upwind to feel the air more strongly. The next action taken by she was to raise her hands up and look up at the sky. Apparently she is praying Thanksgiving. It's strange. I understand her emotions for some reason. Was it she who felt refreshed when I opened the window earlier, not me? What? Am I dead? Did I die and get into someone's body? What is the state of this? As I muttered to myself in confusion, sway. Suka, she muttered as if asking. Then I looked around, but there was no one there. I confirmed that there was no one at the top when I came up. Then I heard the same question again. When I was confused because I couldn't understand the meaning of the words, after a short pause, she muttered a different word, this time in a small voice. But I couldn't hear it well, and my mind was full of question marks. Then she looked around, tilted her head slightly, and then stepped forward a little and she said something from the top of the tower to the men who were looking up from below. When the men heard her words, they each smiled at her and scattered in all directions. When she saw off the men, she got off the tower, and instead of returning to the building from which she had just come out, she went around to the back of the building and went into the woods. Today's story ends. The continuation of the story will be updated tomorrow. Please look forward to. If you like, please subscribe to the channel.